And hello everybody and welcome back to another Ero race weekend. Bear with. Okay, it ain't working. Today and for this week we are at Italy. Yeah, I don't know if you'd say Italy, but we are here for the Emilia Gp, or the correct way to say it is the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And today we are here for round 13 of Season 9 in Ero for PlayStation F5, always the first race to do the tracks every week. So if you want to see what the track's like, we're always the best so to see it. The first driver who is going to be out on a lap is Joe. Joe having a few good races recently. He is definitely one of the top two drivers, but attendance at the start of the season means he's only currently sitting around the P5 or P6 spot in the championship, despite having only raced, I think, around the 5-6 times mark. Unfortunately, he lost his win last week in Hungary due to a 3-second corner cut and penalty in game, and he finished P3, I believe, in that race. So, oh my days, hold on. This won't break. Sorry, I'm trying to break this thing, and it isn't breaking, and I'm getting annoyed now because of it. Anyway, I already have the track map up, so we're going to ride on board with Joe, who will be starting the first lap for this GP. Take a bit of a wide line. Then round turn 1, I mean, it is a turn, but is it really though? As he is now going to come up into the 3 tricky corners in sector 1, I would say. Turn 2, 3 and 4. He looks to have done it quite nicely. And then up into turn 5 and turn 6, last 2 corners in sector 1. His sector 1 time will be a 24.905. Round turn 7. Take a bit of a wide exit, then turn 8 uphill. Not really a turn, but oh well. Into turn 9, the left-hander. You want to run a little wide. Then you've got turn 10, 11, 12 and 13 into 12. And then 13, I can guarantee we will see maybe 1 or 2 DNFs at that one corner right there. He's on a 51.2 second sector. He rode that curb a lot there, turn 14 and turn 15. And then down into turn 16. And then into the last 3 corners, you've got turn 17 and turn 18, both left-hander 90-degree turns. And then around the last semi-corner, turn 19, across the line, Joe will set a 16.8 banker. Oh my days. The question is, who is next? Milos comes across the line, an 18.1. And Dave is next. Oh no, I think he invalidated maybe. Yeah, I think he invalidated his lap. As Zolf, the championship leader, goes P2, 2 tenths slower than Joe on his banker lap, of course. This isn't going to determine where everyone is. As Stevie has just went faster than Joe. Oh no, sorry. Stevie has just went faster than Zolf. But normally Stevie, would have a banging first lap. But it's only going to put him P2 right now. And also quite far behind from Joe's banker. So Joe's banker was really, really nice. A few more drivers. Swiss Stack, a 17.5. Wani an 18.6. And Branimir 21.5. But he is on another lap. He is 1.5 seconds up, so probably maybe a double outlap from Branimir potentially. As Villeneuve has backed out of his lap by the looks of things, Elliot Parker is back in the pit lane. Hey, can we talk a little bit about that? Elliot Parker like maybe 3-4 races ago announced his retirement, as that is Maverick going P7 with an 18.9, but Branimir might beat him. He does. 18.7 goes P7 provisionally. Villeneuve, having not set the fastest lap, is going on another one, a 25.1 he sets, but had a mistake, I believe, in the second sector, so it is a time to improve on. I'm just looking for who else is on the lap. Tommy. Oh, he's invalidated. Okay. I believe he's starting again, though. Yes, he will be. So, round the first tricky bit. Turn 2, into turn 3, and turn 4. He does it very, very nicely. Then round turn 5 and 6. Hold on. Tommy just said 24.4. Joe had a 24.9. I was about to say this. Villeneuve, P4 with 17.3. But hold on. Tommy went 5 tenths faster in Sector 1 compared to Joe. Excuse me? What? This is looking like a great lap. Round turn 17, turn 18, and in the mini corner of turn 19, it's going to be 17.1. Wow. So I think Tommy's massively up in the first sectors. Maverick has DNF, and look where it is. Look where I said there's going to be a few drivers. You just saw the car to the right there. As I believe Joe, the current provisional poleman, is back out on his second lap. Will be looking to try and maybe extend his potential pole position in the game. He is 2 tenths up already in the first sector alone. This would put him about 4 tenths clear of the likes of Stevie behind. As Joe is 3.5 tenths up in the second sector. So definitely could be seen a 0.4 here. Maybe if he can improve even more in the last sector as well, we could be seeing a 0.3 or a 0.4. Maybe even a 0.2. In the last corner, a 16.5. He lost about a tenth in the last sector, as I'm seeing a few drivers. Elliot Parker, P6, Bastian as well. Bastian joined a little late because of him eating dinner and on his first lap of practice apparently. Well, his first lap of Imola, I should say. He sits a 17.8 as that is someone who has went high, and it is Suchel who has set the exact same time as Darius, as Zulf, the championship leader, This happened last week between Zulf and Bastian, and now it's Zulf and Suchel, who will hold the same time, a 1 minute 17.035. So all of a sudden, second, third, and fourth are all separated by 100th of a second. And then you've got the gap to pole. But anyway, Stevie is on a lap and is now going to try and catch Joe. He's already he's just short of 4 tenths up in the first sector. This already puts him within a tenth of Joe. Just in the first sector alone, he's gained 4 tenths. Sector 2 is just over 4 tenths, so he's not improved as much in the second sector. What is the gap between these two? 0.460. It was 0.416, so Stevie needs about a half a tenth improvement here to put his car on provisional pole. He hit the wall, but it's going to be a 16.2. He improved by about 3.5 tenths in the last sector. And that will see Stevie now go clear of Joe on pole position, provisional of course, by over 3 tenths. As I believe Stevie's teammate Dave is on a lap now. No, he is not. Forget what I was saying. Esford, is Esford on a lap? I believe he is. He has not set a lap time yet. As it could be better, potentially. But, if you look at it in the eyes of Esford, oh, that was not good. Round the last few corners now for Esford, and he decides to dive in the pits, abandon the lap, dive in the pits. Who is next on the lap? Tommy? Tommy is on the lap. Oh, a little snap there. In sector 1, he was half a tenth down. Question is now, with that snap, has it cost him any time? I think it might have. No, it's not. He's gained. He's now 38 thousandths up, which won't promote him any places, but if he can get a tenth, he beats both Zulf and Suchel as they're sitting on the exact same time. It's down to tens of thousandths between those two. But Tommy, round the last corner, he's going to stay out and complete this lap. What is it going to be? It's going to be a 16.7. He improves by about 3.5 tenths in the last sector, and will put himself in a very nice position right now. The third driver to reach the 16 mark, as he's had a little spinner. So has Elliot Parker, who's parked right next to him. You see what I've done there? Elliot Parker parked. Forget what I was saying. A 16.7 puts him just over a tenth and a half behind Joe. Remember, this was Joe's second lap time. Correct? Yes. So, we're going to ride on board with Joe. Joe has got to push the car to the limits now to try take the pole position from Stevie, the TV. He's doing a double out lap. Or is he? Has he forgot to turn on ERS? He might have forgot to turn on ERS. Joe! You've not got ERS on, mate. No, I think he's on a double out lap. Potentially. Which would be smart. Leave near to no fuel in the car. And then absolutely send it on the last lap. Sorry, I have not saw this. Stevie is out again. Sucho! Sorry, it's so confusing who's on the lap now and who's not. Sucho puts himself on the front row. He puts himself into P2. A nice gap to Joe behind. So, the first one to come across the line is going to be an Alpine of Swistak to start his lap time. It's then going to be Branimir starting his lap. There's a load of drivers coming across the line. I do not know who to watch. There's a load of drivers starting their lap. Villeneuve, I think, is finishing his lap. No, he's not. The Mercedes of Bastian. I'm going to go to Stevie because I think Stevie's invalidated. So it's Joe, who's also invalidated. But he's going again. But your fuel light is flashing. As Suchel has retired in the pit lane, he's going to be able to improve. Bastian has... Is that a retirement on track? I believe it is, if we ride on board with Joe. I believe that is a retirement on track from Bastian in qualifying. Dave! I'm sorry, I'm not able to see anymore. Dave puts himself into P4. Tommy's on a lap. Zolf, the championship leader's on a lap and is down on his time in Sector 2. So Zolf, who can have a shot, I think, I will do the maths later, but could have a shot at winning next week. Is he going to improve? He improves by 3/10, near 3/10 in the last sector, but it's going to keep him P6 compared to his teammate, who's going to go P5. A 7.5 improvement, 3/4 of a second improvement will put Villeneuve into P5. As Stevie has had a little spin, Dave will be diving into the pit lane, and Joe will be coming across the line. Could it be pole for Joe? It's not. It's not even going to be an improvement. It's going to be P3 for him. Tommy has unfortunately spun, and now all of it is down to is the man by the name of Elliot Parker. The driver who, like I was trying to say before, 3 or 4 races ago, he announced his retirement from PlayStation F5. Last week returned, got pole position, spun lap 1. Elliot will not improve. Qualifying is over. It is a Stevie pole position and a Suchel P2. Suchel getting a front row start again. Very nice from him. Then we see Joe sitting in a nice spot in P3, having Dave, another Haas driver, right behind him, 5 thousandths behind him. Whoa! 3rd, 4th and 5th are separated by 7 thousandths of a second. Wow. So you're telling me third, fourth, and fifth, Joe, Dave, and Villeneuve were separated by 7 thousandths. Villeneuve could have been on the second row, but misses out. Villeneuve's time got even closer. 6 thousandths separate third, fourth, and fifth, and 1,000th of a second separate Villeneuve to Dave for a second row start, but it's not unfortunately going to be for Villeneuve. Stevie gets pole, and it's Suchel in the front row alongside him. Then the AlphaTauri driver of Joe has the other Haas driver of Dave alongside him. We then have Villeneuve and Tommy on the third row, occupying fifth and sixth. And the championship leader sitting in P7 alongside Elliot Parker in P8. And then Swistak and Milos rounding up the top 10. And then we have Branimir, Bastian, Maverick, Wani, Nico Holton, and Esfod. Esfod not able to set a time. Bastian is quite far back. Fries sitting P5 in the championship right now. But, I mean, I'm not coming up with excuses or anything for him. But, he has been on holiday, I should say. He has been on holiday, driving around in other countries. A few days ago, he was messaging me. We've been messaging a little bit. He was in Belgium. He didn't go to Spa, unfortunately. That is my dream, to go to Spa and watch a race weekend. But he was in Belgium for a little bit, and he said it was nice. It's cloudy. It is cloudy. Is there rain? I haven't actually checked to see if anyone has messaged in the chat. I see nothing. Suchel saying that was the lap of my life. Well, it's good to see that it was a good lap. I cannot invite anyone because my game just does not want to work. So, we're going to be underway in 15 seconds because, of course, this game still isn't worked on by Codemasters at all. So, formation lap still glitched. Well, that we know of, it is still glitched. So, we do no formation lap. We just get right into the drama, especially on this track. Drama will ensue as we're going to be 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights in the Emilia-Romagna Gp. It's lights out and away we go in F5. Who's going to get the good start? Joe is already going and beating Dave and Suchel and Stevie. As Joe defending the lead of the race against Suchel. Suchel round the outside. It's Suchel in the lead. There's contact between the Haas teammates. There's utter chaos behind. I think there's like 5 drivers who have spun round. But as we sit, ending sector run, we see Suchel is in the lead of the race with Joe in P2. We then have Stevie and Dave, the Haas drivers, in sitting in P3 and P4. We see Zulf gaining 2 positions to get up to P5. We see Swistak in P6. We then have Elliot Parker in P7. Nico Holtonen is up into P8. Esfod P9. Branimir and Maverick are fighting. Wani is still not back in the session, as I think this is what's happened. It's been the chaos between these 4 drivers at the back. It has been Bastian, Tommy, Villeneuve and Milos who all got caught up in the carnage, as Bastian absolutely sends it on Wani's AI. Tommy is also following pursuit. As Branimir's nearly on the grass trying to make this move on Maverick. Is he going to send it? No, he is not. He's going to mess himself up, though, and he's left himself so compromised for Bastian. And Bastian goes down on the inside. He forces... Oh. Bastian's in as... Oh! There was a move for P2 between Joe and Stevie. And I believe there was contact between Stevie and Joe. It's now all of a sudden... As that is Branimir unfortunately spinning, but all of a sudden Stevie's down into P10. And Suchel has darted it. Dave is going to look for payback. Well, not taking him out, of course, but looking to try get the podium position, or P2 I should say. He's on the podium already. Let's look at the tyres, because I think Joe's on the hards, Suchel's on the mediums. Yes, he is. Let's get all the delta and stuff up now so we can have a little look and see what everyone is on. Elliot Parker is on the soft tyres. You had to kind of expect it. Elliot Parker is on the soft compound of tyres. Quite a few drivers opting to go for the mediums. And we see ones like Nico Holton and Joe and Branimir opting to go for the hards. Maverick having just gone onto those hard compound of tyres. Suchel now trying to maintain this healthy 2.4 second gap as Zulf has got past Dave. Dave is now off the podium. Zulf looking to try get past Joe. Zulf goes wide. Dave and Zulf have a little fight. Dave gets forced wide, no contact, just how Zulf's car was positioned. Dave going side by side again, trying to get the move done, back into P3. Is he going to stick it though is the question. Round the outside, Dave has stuck the position and gets back up into P3, but now isn't going to have DRS on Joe, unfortunately, as Nico Holton is holding up a lot of the drivers, defending against Tommy, and now Stevie's going round the outside. Nico decides to back out, which is the smarter decision. Villeneuve's going to have a good run on him here as well. Go on, Villeneuve. I dare you. Villeneuve backs out. It's a smart decision. Get a better exit and use DRS on the straight to try get him. As that is Swiss stacking Elliot Parker. Elliot Parker is off SVOD. Right behind. As Zolf has got a 3-second time penalty in lap 4 of the GP. How have you done that? My guess, the first few corners. Also, these ones, which we're riding on board with Zolf right now. This one especially. Like that. That would be a warning. So, looking at the grid, any potential fights, I see Tommy and Stevie being very close to each other. 4 temps separating them. Stevie over the back of Tommy. We'll ride on board with Stevie to potentially see if he might try get a move done. Elliot Parker, 3-second time penalty for corner cuts. He is trying to set up a move, but hasn't had the greatest of exits. But now we go back to Stevie and Tommy, where Tommy has had not the greatest of exits. And now it is an easy move for Stevie, as Stevie has just got past in the nick of time. As it is a safety car, it is Maverick. He spun out in quali and DNF'd. And now he has spun out in the real race. And look at what corner it is. I told you there was going to be 1 or 2 DNFs at that one corner. Turn 12 into turn 13. And it has happened. So, the question is, are people going to pit now? Because our tyres will definitely not go to the end at this point. So, let's see if anyone dives in. I'm going to ride on board with Suchel and watch backwards and see. Suchel faking. That's a fry. That's a fry of Zolf taking the gamble. Well, Elliot, I'm sorry, mate, but you're getting a penalty for that. Elliot unfortunately goes into the back of Swistack and now damages Swistack's front line and his in the process. And now Tommy's getting his repaired. Zulf was already ahead. So only those 4 drivers of Zulf, Swistack, Parker and Tommy opting to pit, Elliot being on the medium tyres. Everyone else has decided to stay out. What is the better decision? I'm not sure. S5 up into P4 after starting from the back of the grid, as we can get up here, up 12 positions. A brilliant race from him so far. What we have to remember, last week Stevie nearly got the last to first. Stevie Bennett in the qualifying, which was wet. And, well, he wasn't last, but it was like a 100th gap to Branimir, who was in last. So, pretty much last place for Stevie. And he finished P2 after Joe's 3-second time penalty, unfortunately. Safety car cannot be in this lap, so everyone's weaving their tyres for no reason, really. Sorry there, people. I was just taking a little break there, getting a drink, and get ready to enjoy fully commentating the rest of this race. So, I don't know if anyone saw, but our championship leader in F5 decided to box again. Now deciding to go onto the medium tyres. This is actually going to benefit him quite nicely. Stevie, what are you doing, fam? You just backed everyone up. Safety car is in this lap. Wani has still not joined back. So as it stands, Wani's car, forget about it. Zolf is on warm tyres, as he's literally just pitted with them. So, when is the safety car going to be in, and when is Sucho is going to go? That is the 2 questions. The safety car is now in the pit lane, I believe. So Sucho can go at any moment. I believe he goes at the exit of the corner, and he does so. But everyone is close behind, except the top 3 have distanced themselves from the likes of Isford, and then Stevie doing weaving to try heat the tyres a bit. Nearly out of the rest range. There's chaos happening at the back as Dave spun. There's been contact I've not saw. There's also been contact between Swisstack and other drivers. Branimir is also round. 3 drivers, Dave, Branimir and Swisstack, out on the restart, and there's already a big gap from P8 to the back of the grid. Zulf having a beautiful restart. Remember, he was just at the back of the grid, and all of a sudden he's back up at the PA. I don't know what happened at the start. Villeneuve's round! Another person has spun at the demise of turn 12 and turn 13. Oh! Oh my days, we've got an instant safety car again. Elliot Parker has been in another incident. I don't know what Tommy was doing there, but Elliot had a good run, and I think ran into the back of Tommy. I'm not sure what happened. Tommy is messaging. We will see what he says. I think there was contact. So, a few drivers pitting now. It would make sense for a few drivers to have pit now. Sucho, the race leader, who was on the medium tyres, has decided to pit. S5 has decided to pit onto the softs. So that will be very interesting to see. And then the likes of Zolf. Zolf has came in again, but now for the hards to go to the end of the race with. As Villeneuve is in, Dave and Elliot also in, all of the drivers being on the hard tyres now as well. Hards will definitely go to the end of the race, so the smarter decision would be to go for the hards. Tommy, this game is so... And in a bleep word, Elliot, why did you just brake check me? So, may potentially a brake checking has happened. I don't think a brake check would have happened, but there's a chance. So we will be in this lap. That is something which we know. What we don't know is what has happened with this incident between Elliot and Tommy. All we know will be on my POV. Okay, we will be getting a POV soon, which is very nice indeed. So, safety car message will probably be popping up any second now through after this corner. There we go, actually during it. So, Joe will now be the driver to lead the safety car. As, oh yeah, Wani's AI. Branimir, I think, is trying to overtake the AI. As it's a bit... Wani's AI will not be counted for the results. So technically Zulf is in the points. As, I'm sorry, I've been completely distracted. We're actually going quite fast. Safety car is in. Joe has still decided not to go. When is he going to go? He's leaving it super late. He goes now. Does he catch Stevie? He sort of does. As we're back underway. Look at a few of these drivers up at the top of the grid right now. Milos P3, Nico Holtonen P4, Bastian P5, Branimir overtook Wani before... Oh, it's a bit... Branimir. Oh my days. Suchel is on the attack though. Suchel's overtaking Branimir. Branimir decides to not stick it. Suchel has went extremely wide though, thinking that he was there. But Suchel, who was the race leader on the new hard tyres, is up into P6 in nice position to be sitting at. However, Nico Holtonen definitely holding up the drivers behind, and he will, as look at this, having moments left, right and centre, has now left Bastian to fight with Suchel side by side. They're going to go, you do not want to go side by side through this corner. Suchel decides to back out, the smart decision, but Suchel now being is now being massively held up by the likes of Bastian and Nico Holtonen as Milos, Stevie and Joe are breaking away with it. Suchel, of course, being on the new tyres, he wants pass now. Is he going to use? Yes, Nico Holtonen already using all of his ERS because that's what he loves to do. Bastian is getting past and is past. The question is, will Suchel be past? Suchel, oh my days. What a send. Nico Holtonen did break a little early, but wow, that was a beautiful send from Suchel round the outside into turn 1. And now we can see Suchel trying to take the different lines to Bastian, trying to get past. Bastian is holding up with the likes of Milos ahead. He is gaining, which clearly shows that if Suchel was able to get past, imagine Suchel in clean air with these fresh tyres against old mediums. Suchel will be flying. The only thing though which stops that is if he can get past, which could be now, but will not by the looks of things, as that is Branimir round at the corner, which has now meant 3 drivers have spun here. Esford, I didn't see what happened to him, I'm sorry, but there was a lot of action happening, so I'm not sure. Zolf! What happened to Zolf? Our championship leader all of a sudden has no front wing at the back of the grid. I'm not sure what happened there. Anyway, what I do know what's happened is Villeneuve has got past Nico Holtonen for P6, and Nico now has Dave all over the back of him, trying to overtake him. Dave has had a beautiful exit there, and will get passed up into P7. Elliot Parker gets another 3-second time penalty. He is now on 6 seconds of penalties as he tries to get past. Oh, Suchel's gone! The what do you call it? The net race lead. He has spun. It's now Villeneuve on for the net race lead. So all of a sudden, the Villeneuve could be on for a first place as Dave is now overtaking Villeneuve. Dave looking for his first win in the Ero. I don't know if anyone remembers, but back in Singapore a few races ago, Dave did come across the line to win in Singapore. However, stewarding penalties from incidents meant that Dave dropped down to P3. He did get his first podium in the Ero, but it was not a win. So now Dave will be looking to try maybe get his first win in the Ero, as he now sits in the net race lead. Villeneuve P2, and Elliot Parker is net P3. We don't know how it has happened, but Elliot is there. And he is catching. We will see if anything happens there. Something which will definitely happen though, something between these two drivers of Nico and Suchel, as Suchel tries to take the better lines. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Sent here, or a different line. Nick goes a bit deep, and Suchel sweep past on the inside. Suchel up into P8, now net P4. He was first, now fourth, and he's got 2.4 seconds to catch up to Elliot Parker, who is then right behind. Zolf has spun. Our championship leader has DNF'd, and it is a safety car. Zolf has now DNF'd. That is his first finish. Well, he's not finished though. That is his first race this season which he is DNF'd. That is the first. This is like such an interesting fact. This is the first time Zolf has been out of the top 6. And just to even add to it, oh well, no, he did disconnect in Canada. So he's had 2 really bad races. This now being the second. Medium drivers are in. Joe is in from the hards to the mediums. Wow, that's a bit early actually. As Elliot, Parker and Dave decide to stay out and chance their luck with their new mediums, of course. As Joe is taking what some would say the ultimate gamble here, but he did start on the hards, so he has to go the mediums. But his mediums will be near the break-in limit. They will not be healing themselves. They will not be surviving. They will be punished. They will be pushed to the limit. And he will definitely have to try to get past Elliot and Dave in front and not let Stevie pass. He has to use his medium tyres to his advantage at the start of the race as much as he potentially can. It's now when we look at the net race leads. Villeneuve is down in, what's that, net P5, but look at the tyres. It is the medium tyres Villeneuve is on, so is Suchel and so is Nico Holton behind. So, technically right now, Bastian is P4 and the Milos is net P3. And I feel like we're gonna see a shocker podium here today. I believe we're definitely gonna see, I think we're gonna see, I don't want to jinx this, but I want to see Joe and Stevie. I don't really care who wins. It would be nice to see Joe after losing his win to a penalty last week. But a Joe and Stevie on the podium, and then we're gonna see, I think no matter what, we're gonna see a shocker 3rd place. Or you know what, I'm not even going to say a shocker 3rd place. We're going to see a shocking 3rd driver on the podium. Someone who we maybe wouldn't expect to be getting a podium. As Zolf is of course not here now because he has DNF'd. So seeing someone potentially like Milos or Bastian or Villeneuve or maybe Suchel on the podium again would be very nice to see. Suchel burning the fuel. Anyone else doing it? No. No one else. Milos doing it slightly there. Oh no, Suchel's doing it fully burn. Nobody is doing what Suchel is doing. Nobody knows the pro tactics of which Suchel knows. So, message will be popping up very soon for the safety car being in, as Dave is doing the most amazing tyre warm-up. Message now, so it comes up after the right turn, just in between it. Interesting. So, it will be now Dave, the third safety car? The 3rd safety car, and now the 3rd leader of the safety car. The question is, when is he going to go? He's going slightly fast. He's turned ERS on, so he wants a brilliant exit as he has went out of the last corner. No, he's not. He's slowed down. That's illegal. Dave could definitely be getting a momental penalty for that, and has now left Elliot Parker to defend off Joe and Stevie Are we going to see 3 wide into this corner? No, we're not, but we are somehow going to see Bastian DNF at the back, and we're going to see Stevie spin round after contact with Joe, I think, for the second time in this race now. It is Imola, so we will see what happened. Suchel's up into P4. Oh, Suchel! Jeez, blimmin' Nora! That was something. Any front wing damage to Joe? No, but that was the biggest send I think I've ever saw in my life. But Suchel is back up into a podium position. Now in... Wait, Suchel got past Joe. Oh yeah, because that was a send. That's for the net race lead, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, Dave and Elliot still have to pit. So now, all of a sudden, Suchel is back up into the lead of the race, I guess you could say. Because, of course, remember, he spun and then went down to what was net P4. Now back up into net P1 after a great safety car restart. Well, Stevie spun round, so... we could see 2 podium shockers today. Who knows? We could even see a Suchel win. Suchel straight line speed. Oh my days. It is beautiful. Elliot and Suchel side by side. There is contact with Elliot and Suchel. Elliot has now been left so compromised to defend off Joe. Joe looking to try get the move done. Is he going to do it? No! Oh my days. That was a millimetres off race ending for one of the 2 drivers of Joe and Elliot. I think it would have been Elliot, but Joe would have definitely suffered a consequence there as well. And now, Suchel up into P2 with Dave's penalty, technically the lead of the race, but he'll want to win it on track. It would make sense if Suchel is wanting to win this race on track. Suchel as well, not having had the greatest of races recently. Of course, he won in... What track was it which he won? Bear with me 1 second, I'm getting up the standings just to give another quick check. But Suchel has won this season, so another one would be quite nice for him. He says P4 in the standings. He's won twice, I should say. Sorry. He has won in Zandvoort in the Netherlands, and he won in Canada. But since Canada, he's had a rollercoaster of races. After Canada was Kota, he scored 1 point. In Baku, he got 3rd, scored 15. In Britain, he got 0 in the sprint, 0 in the race. In Spa, he got 6. In Singapore, he got 2nd. And then last week in Hungary, he DNF'd. So, such a difference right now. Suchel sometimes has a good race, sometimes has a bad race. I can relate to that, except Suchel has better races more often. I know I just self-roasted myself, but sometimes the game doesn't want to help me, other drivers don't want to help me, and you know, I'll have maybe a podium and then like 4 or 5 bad races and another podium, and it'll be that repeatedly. I'm on, 4 podiums this season in PlayStation F2. Anyway, Suchel in P2, he is closing in on Dave. I wonder if we're maybe going to see this straight line speed of Suchel again. I wouldn't be surprised if we were to, because that straight line speed was unbelievable. Elliot has went wide in the last 2 corners, and Joe has already snuck past him. Look at the straight line speed. I do not know if it's Elliot and Dave are running really high wings or if it's Suchel running really low wings. I can't tell what it is. But what I can tell is that Joe is out of the DRS range of Suchel. Why is Joe's car so glitchy? They can't get good graphics on this game. Oh, there we go. It's fixed itself a little bit. Didn't look as nice on this helicopter view, which does look very nice as we watch the Alpha Tauri. You know what, we're just going to enjoy this. I bet you it'll go away now. Well, we can't really enjoy that, Joe. I'm going a little wide there. Oh my days, we're still going. Suchel could have made a lead now. No, he is not, because we have just saw an Alpine. Joe has actually closed in quite a bit. Yeah, Joe's now involved in this little fight going on here. Elliot, oh, Elliot having a little snap there. Elliot now dropping 2.5, 2.6 seconds behind Joe now. Joe very close to Suchel. Suchel maybe has to get past Dave now. He has to put this gap in between him and Joe. I think that's what Suchel is trying to do. He's, oh my days. What is that straight line speed? Suchel is going to send it into turn one on Dave, and it's going to be a clean overtake. That is nice driving from the Haas driver and the Alpine driver there. That is what you call clean and fair racing, as there's a bug on my monitor. Oh my days. Anyway, Joe is over the back of Dave now, trying to get past up into P2 so we can attack Suchel again, but Dave is going to do Suchel's handiwork now and defend off Joe as much as he can while also keeping up with Suchel to the best of his capability, as Joe is getting very close to the rear of Dave, and Dave is actually managing to keep up with Suchel at this current moment in time. Joe runs a little wide, he uses air rest and he gains back. You could say it's a bit weird. Oh, Joe's momentum made him go so wide, and now Joe is slowly dropping off from Dave after that mistake. Dave actually gaining quite a bit on Suchel there, but not looking for any bother, not looking for a move. Stevie's down in P9. As that is, oh, I was about to say that is Villeneuve overtaking Elliot. That is Elliot spinning. And unfortunately for Elliot, he also has to pit, so that will sadly see Elliot out of the points, I believe. Potentially. Since Wani is a ghost this whole race, Elliot could potentially keep P10, because if Wani finishes P10, Elliot P11, that means it would be Elliot in P10. Anyway, we'll see how it all works out. The question is, will Joe get DRS? Dave is using to try to take Joe out of it, but Joe will keep it. I don't think Dave has got DRS though. Suchel managed to just clear the gap in time. He has. Suchel just managed to get the gap. And now Dave is left with no DRS, while Joe does. Let's look at a few of the drivers who are sitting in really high positions right now. Is Dave on 3 seconds or 6? He's on 3. So currently Joe would get P2 and Dave would get his third place this season, I believe. As that is Swistak and Milos having a little fight there. Swistak getting past Swistak up into P5. The Alpines having such good results today. As Swistak now on the hunt for Villeneuve would be my guess for P4. So it's quite a nice race for Swistak. Milos, Branimir. There's quite a few drivers here who would often DNF or finish in a low point range like P8, P9, P10, who are in like P5, P6, P7, which is like what, 10, 8 and 6 points. I'm not meaning any disrespect to Swistak, Milos or Branimir, but they're normally not this high in the standings. I want to say it, I'm not meaning any offence to them, as I said, but see them this high, some would say it's a little surprising. But it does make sense for the amount of top driver DNFs which we have, so the likes of Tommy, Zolf and Bastian, who would have been the ones normally ahead of them, but now of course since they DNF'd, it leaves the higher positions for those drivers to snatch it and grab those points. Oh, Dave in a moment out of that corner. We saw as we rode on board with Joe. Yeah, Dave is very fast. Dave being able to pull away alongside Villeneuve as that is Esford's one at the back. Could that be a safety car? Esford's continues spinning round. He's kept on spinning round. He's kept the car going, which is good to see. No, there will be nothing. It will be green flags as Joe. Oh, Joe, that's not the exit you want, man. Oh, Esford's gone again. I'm not saying that he's spinning. Oh, he's a lot on the track. He's off and off and off. Could it be a safety car potentially? Joe gets past Dave. There was nearly contact between them. Oh, something I've just remembered as well. Joe's had the contact with Stevie during the race. So Dave could actually be on for the P2 here. But Dave is on 16 lap old hards, and I don't know if the hard tyres go that long. We've got the beautiful helicopter view. We're going to ride on board with Dave. I want to switch to Joe, but I feel like if we switch to Joe, we're not going to get the helicopter view. I'm going to do it anyway. How did I know? Go back to Dave. It works. Sometimes this game. I mean, I can't complain. Helicopter view is beautiful of any car, especially the Haas, a beautiful white and red, which will be white, black, and red for next season. Going a little wide there, Dave. But I don't think he's gained any time over it, is the question. As Stevie, ever since having been spun, he's been on the hunt for the drivers ahead, trying to get back, clearly showing his dominant pace. He makes Branimir go wide because he... Fake! Forget what I was saying. I just love jinxing people. Forget everything I have said. Just completely forget it, please. Do we see any fights? Steve having spun now means the only driver in the DRS range of another driver in front is Branimir on Milos. So actually, I've just remembered this as well. So we saw Joe make contact with Stevie, I believe, 2 times, and then also Dave with that restart. So although we could potentially be seeing like a Suchel, Joe, and Dave podium from the race, we could be seeing a much different result in the pre-Stewart, after Sheridan, I should say. So we will see what happens. Bastian saying how he ended up DNFing was from Dave's restart. That's why he thinks Dave might not be getting this podium. Is because people in front of me brake because of the restart. So I had to brake, and then people end up going into the back of me, and I DNF'd. So it's very unfortunate, which happened to Bastian, who, of course, has unfortunately DNF'd in P13. But this is Suchel's race to win now. As, oh, that Swiss stack. That Swiss stack with a massive moment. All of a sudden, Swiss stack drops from P5 to P7. This is where the fight is going to get interesting between Milos and Branimir. Branimir could be on for 10 points here. This would be monumental for him, as he's not been in the league for not that long. He's also one of maybe 2 or 3 Bulgarian drivers who are in the league. Zulf has joined back, maybe to help someone, I wonder. Not sure. Elliot gets another 3-second time penalty. 9? Elliot. Elliot, man. How are you on 12 seconds? Nico Holtonen's going to beat you at this point. We'll see. We'll see what happens when it comes to the penalties. Nice helicopter view when we're watching Elliot. Oh, Branimir. Oh, yes, please. We've got the helicopter view of Branimir and Milos. This is beautiful. We get the best view possible of this fight between the Williams and the Aston Martin, both being engined by Mercedes, of course. One of the drivers on 15-lap-old mediums, one of them on 13-lap-old hards. Quite a nice helmet from Branimir there, quite colourful. As we are now going to be entering the fourth last lap of the race, and it is now just Suchel to get a nice and comfortable win for himself. He still has to push a little bit, but not to the point where he spins, because there is quite a high chance that the two drivers behind of Joe and Dave could be getting penalties from incidents in this race. So we could see Suchel after Sheridan maybe have upwards of a 10-second win potentially. So we will see. As there has already been a report just made by Darius against Elliot Parker. Interesting. As Nico Holtonen has pitted and drops out of P10 to rather try go for the fastest lap of the race, when he needs to improve by 3 seconds to beat Stevie. We will see. That's all I'm going to say. I'm on the leader accidentally. There we go. So, actually, interesting. Elliot's in from P. Oh, I mean, he's got those time penalties and he's on 21 lap old hards. What the? Excuse me? What? We hear the cars. Oh, there we go. What on earth was that? Oh my days. I hope someone saw that. I hope that was like what everyone saw on stream. Oh my days. What on earth was that? As Suchel, this has been such a race from him. Nico doesn't have any ERS, that's the thing. Like, if you're going for fastest lap, you want ERS, DRS, and softs. Nico Holtonen has... and pace. Nico Holtonen has DRS and softs. Maybe pace. We'll see. Anyway, second last lap. Suchel is coming up on lapping the drivers ahead now. As Suchel, what an unbelievable race he has had today. This will be a beautiful third win for Suchel this season. I believe the 5th podium. I'm going to make a quick check just to make sure. Yes, this would be his 3rd win and 5th podium of the season, which, whoa, Joe is the driver who's behind him, and Joe's sitting in P2. That is yellow flags. That is Stevie? Stevie spun again. The thing is, though, like, he's in P8. He's got Elliot Parker behind him, who's not holding him up or anything. As Suchel, now with the ghost of Wani starting the last lap. I'm just looking at what the stand-ins are like here, and I'm trying to do a bit of mental maths. This race, this result, will promote Suchel into P3 in the championship and put himself right behind Stevie for P2. Stevie scoring what, it would be 4 points this race, and Suchel getting. Oh no, so Stevie still has fastest lap, correct? Nico Holtonen didn't take it off of him. And no, he did not. So Stevie will be taking home 6 points as it currently stands, which means he would be on 1-3-3. Suchel would be, I think, on 1-2-3 or something. But I'm sorry, but we have to ride on board with Suchel at this very moment. The man has had such a brilliant race. Of course, unfortunately, he spun at one point and looked like he could have lost the win, but then he has picked it back up after that safety car. And on those mediums, round the last corner, Suchel is going to come across the line to win his third race of the season. He steals the fastest lap from Stevie as well, so he takes that extra point from Stevie, pulls himself 1 point closer. What a brilliant race from Suchel. He takes the fastest lap at the end. Joe Hamster gets P2 and Dave finishes in P3. Then it's Villeneuve P4 and Milos in P5. Then Branimir P6. Oh my days, I've got the hiccups, sorry. And then we see No, I already said Branimir. We see Swistak in P7. We're then going to see Stevie coming across the line, and he will finish in P8. And then it's going to be. Is it going to be Elliot Parker? Oh, yeah, it will be. Elliot Parker. Oh, wait, Elliot might take fastest lap here. I forgot. Does he? He does! He takes the point from Suchel. Elliot is going to be finishing on 3 points today. So unfortunately, Suchel's effort at the end there to take that fastest lap hasn't worked out. It's going to be Elliot Parker getting the fastest lap of the race. And he will be finishing P9. What a race that was. Filled with chaos. I will say this. Expect maybe as Branimir gets driver of the day, that is a pose I have never saw before. The piece number 2. But it is Suchel on the podium. Not this. Oh, listen to me, man. Suchel gets the win. It's an Alpine AlphaTauri Haas podium. Imagine if that happened in real life. The scenes would be immense. Anyway, Suchel, a brilliant race from P2, wins the GP. Whoa, look at that. First, second, third, and fourth all started second, third, fourth, and fifth. They just moved up a position each. That is a brilliant race from those 4. Suchel, as I said, gets his third win of the season, puts himself into P3 in the championship in contention for P2. Joe will drop down to P4, but will be relatively close as well to taking P3 and P2 in the championship now with this good race in P2. I want to say this though before I do the podium and stuff. Penalties, we could see a lot of penalties, especially for the likes of Joe and Dave who are on the podium. Joe has a 11.6 second gap, so he should be safe. Dave, maybe not so much. Dave gets P3, however, and Villeneuve, a nice race from him, gets P4. We then have Milos in P5, Branimir P6, Swistak P7, Stevie, unfortunately, in P8. We then have Elliot Parker P9, S4 P10, Nico Holton in P11, Wani, who didn't race, will get a disconnection, and then the drivers who DNF'd, Bastian, Zulf, Tommy, and Maverick. That race was filled with absolutely everything. Very, very nice. Watch Milos in top 5, exclamation mark, exclamation, so on, so forth. So, A very, very nice race there. So, thank you all very much for watching this race this weekend. All I can suggest to you is in 10 minutes' time, go over and watch F4. There may be a few F5 drivers, like usual, there may be a few F5 drivers racing in F4. So, if you want to watch any of the drivers who raced in this race, in 10 minutes, maybe go grab yourself some popcorn or go to the toilet or do anything, and then come back for 7:30 UK time, which, as I said, 10 minutes time, for F4. PlayStation F3 tomorrow, 5 p.m. British time. F2, which I race in, is 7 p.m. tomorrow. UK time, of course, all the times are UK. And then on Sunday, F1, which hopefully I will commentate, will be on Sunday, 6 p.m. GMT. Definitely tune in for that. Apart from that, anyway, thank you all very much for watching this race, and definitely tune in next week at the same time, Friday, 6 p.m. GMT, for what drumroll, the French Grand Prix. We are going to France, so not far of a travel from a part of Italy to France. Definitely tune in for that next week for round 14 of what could be 17. So we're closing in on the end. Zulf today, if he had a good result, could have had the chance of potentially winning next week. I don't think it's mathematically possible now. I will do it for next week, and I will let everyone know commentating next week. Apart from that, thank you. I've been Cameron Don, and we'll see you all next week for the French GP. Thank you.